killing people is kind of like the ultimate betrayal. Oh, that's the third story. That's not the second one. What's the second one? Hey friends, it's Sarah, and it's August. So we're going back to the Orilium Academy, and I have got another Magical Readathon TBR video for you. So for the month of August, it is the Magical Readathon Orilium Autumn Equinox. So it's like our second semester of the Orilium Academy. And so last time I chose my calling of an Alchemist, and I talked about that in my TBR video that came out in April. I'll link that up top and down below. But this semester kind of builds on that. So last semester it was just like certain courses you had to take, and there's one prompt per course. But this semester you have to get certain grades. So there's 3 different grades. There's ordinary, qualified, and distinguished, and each calling has a different set of grades that you need for a certain number of courses. As I had said in my previous video, I chose the Career of Alchemist because it had a lot of books that you had to read for it. And I'm kind of now regretting that because in August I have like 2 different vacations planned. So I don't know how much reading I can actually get during the month. But thankfully Gia is like super chill, and she was like, you know, if y'all can't finish in August, that's fine, it's for fun, don't like stress out. So I'm gonna try and get all these books done in August, but with all of my traveling and everything, we'll see. I won't beat myself up about it if I can't get them all done. I have my bullet journal set up here for the autumn equinox. I've got a little envelope with my syllabus in it, so I can tell you what books I want to read in August. So for the Calling of Alchemist, I have to read 14 books. Plus there's also like extra quests I can do if I want, but I think 14 is a pretty decent number already. So if I finish these prompts and I still have time in August, then I'll like read for the quests, but if not, I'm just gonna stick to my syllabus. So first off, for alchemy, I need to achieve a distinguished level. So that means I have to read 3 books for 3 different prompts. So for the first one, for an ordinary level in alchemy, it's the basics of poisons. So I have to read a book on someone's worst list that I think I might like. And I made a pile of books, but I did not organize them. So I chose Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which was on, I think, Carrie Can Read's worst books of the year list. And I have a physical book. I think I got it Goodwill actually, but I own a physical book of it and I was like, perfect. Good opportunity to read this and get it off of my physical TBR shelf and into my normal shelves. So this is a kind of a Beauty and the Beast reimagining. It's got like dragons and stuff in it too. I don't know too much about it, but I love Beauty and the Beast retellings. And I heard good things about this one, and that's like fairly different from most Beauty and the Beast retellings. So I'm excited. For the qualified level in alchemy, it is Poison, Acidic Amber, and that is to read an orange book. So for that, I chose Titanic Survivor by Violet Jessop, another book that I own and had on my shelves for a while. So another good opportunity to read a book I own. And this follows Violet Jessop, who survived 2 different giant ship disasters, the Titanic and the Britannic. So sounds really interesting. That poor girl, oh my god. And then finally, for the highest level in alchemy, the distinguished level, it is Poison Willowweed. And for that, I need to read something with 1 word in the title. And so for that, I have Lightlark by Alix Aster. This was an arc that was sent to me. Apparently it's a limited edition collector's arc, which seems like a bizarre thing to have, but whatever. I don't really know what it's about. Alix Aster is apparently famous on Book Talk. It sounds kind of Hunger Games-y a little bit, so that should be fun. And it comes out in August, so hopefully I will read it before it comes out. The next course I have to take is Animal Studies, and I only need an O in that, and so that is the study of familiars, which is to read a book with a familiar or an animal companion in it. For that, I have The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill, which is a graphic novel, but it's like picture book size, about little tea dragons. I've seen lots of people read it, it looks adorable, and it's also, you know, like a picture book size, so I should be able to read it in like 20 minutes. Always good when you have so many books to read. It's really great to have thin books that you can just kind of power through if possible. The next course I have to take is astronomy, and once again, just an O in that, which is Lileve, and that's just something with the letter L in the title. And for that, I have A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting by Sophie Irwin. Yeah, so this is a kind of like Regency, like Bridgerton era romance, and it follows Kitty, who is trying to get married because her family is in financial ruin. So she is fortune hunting. So it sounds like a fun, quick little like romance. Hopefully it will like scratch that Bridgerton itch, because the second season of Bridgerton was so good. And the book was like pretty fun as well. But the series as a whole, I just don't really click with, so hopefully this will like fill that void. Okay, then I have to take Demonology. That's also an O level, and that is Imp Wrangling, which is to read a fantasy. I don't have a ton of fantasies out right now, but I do have the 10,000 Doors of January by Alix E. Harrow, and I read Alix's other book. I read the Spindle Splintered, Mirror Mended, and Once and Future Witches by the same author. I think this might be the only book of hers I haven't read, and I loved Once and Future Witches, so I'm excited about this one too. And it's just got a beautiful cover as well. I'm not quite sure what it's about, but I think it might be like parallel worlds and stuff. I don't know. I didn't really look too much into it. I was just like, I like this author. The cover's beautiful. I'll give it a shot. Okay, up next I have to get Q in Spells and Incantations. So for the level O, it's Spell Recolor, and for that I have to use a color wheel and pick a book matching that color. So I thought I would just do that with y'all. Okay, so here I have my little color wheel. It won't focus if I bring it closer, so we'll just spin that, see what it does. Light blue. I was hoping this would happen. So I'm going to read Conversations with People Who Hate Me by Dylan Marron. And it's got some light blue right there. You can see one of the stripes is like light blue. But this is based off of a podcast where Dylan Marron, who is a content creator and also one of the voices in Welcome to Night Vale, he plays the dreamy scientist Carlos. Or we stand Carlos. Anyways, he hosts a podcast where he contacts people who have left mean comments on his other content and just kind of has like an open conversation with them. And it's an excellent podcast. I highly recommend it. He is so generous and kind, and he speaks to these people so like openly, and like he's got such a way of keeping his cool, because I think if anyone had written a mean comment to me and I went to talk to them, I would just be too mad to say anything nice or have a productive conversation. But I think he has really interesting conversations. And the blurb says, Dylan Marron is like a modern Mr. Rogers for the digital age. And I feel like that's accurate. He's just so kind and loving. And I just think we can all learn a lot from Dylan. So I'm really excited to read this. Then for Q in Spells and Incantations, it is Incantation Echo, and that is to find someone else's TBR and pick a book from theirs. So I went through my Goodreads and looked through my Goodreads friends' TBR list to see if I had anything like from the library that I owned that was on their list, and I did not. But I got something out from the library that I wanted to read, and that was on someone else's TBR. I have All Our Hidden Gifts by Caitlin O'Donoghue. And this was off of, I believe it was Kay's TBR list on Goodreads. But it's also something that I have been meaning to pick up because it's got fun like tarot cards in it. The cover's beautiful, fun like witchy vibes. So there we go. That worked out. Okay, then for Inscription, I have to get a distinguished level, but the first level, O, is the Glyph Recollection, and that is to read a childhood favorite. So I thought I would either read maybe a Magic Treehouse book because they're pretty skinny, pretty easy to get through, or I would read Chasing Redbird by Sharon Creech. This book I got in grade 4 from a teacher who was really mean to our class, but anyways. And this started a love affair with Sharon Creech books. I have read so many of them. I love her books. So this fellow Zinni, who kind of discovers like a path behind her family's home and like goes kind of like digging up the stepping stones on the path, but it also talks about like grief and family dynamics and stuff. I really love this. This was really great, and I'd love to revisit it because I've read it several times, but it's definitely been a while since I've reread it. And it'd be interesting to read it now that I have more of a adult brain. But now, like now that I have better, I don't know, understanding of different like literary devices and ways of analyzing themes in books, I think it'd be interesting to reread a children's book that does have like some deeper themes, but that I might not have quite picked up on properly when I was, what are you, in grade 4? 9 and reading this. So Sharon Creech, she's great. Then for level Q in Inscription, it is inking techniques, and for that it's read a graphic novel / comic / manga. And I just thought, since I'm already reading the Tea Dragon Society, I would just pick up the second one, and here we have the Tea Dragon Tapestry by Kay O'Neill. So I just thought I'd continue the series. Once again, pretty short. Oh, that's the third story. That's not the second one. What's the second one? Hold on. Hold on. Hold your horses. Tea Dragon Festival. Oy vey. Okay, so now I put a hold on the second Tea Dragon book, so I will try and read that one if it comes in on time. But if not... Oh, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, if the Tea Dragon Festival doesn't come in on time, I'm just going to read Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the manga, because I have the entire comic series of the like manga run of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I would go like every week, or when did these come out? Every month, every couple weeks? Whenever they would publish these, I'd go to the grocery store with my mom and pick up the newest one, and I have the full run from, this is like the first one, all the way to the end of the manga series. So I'll just read a couple of those, and I did check they're on Goodreads, and anything that's on Goodreads counts for the readathon. So there we go, backup plan. And then to get the distinguished level for Inscription, which is Stilling the Mind, it's just to read a cozy read. I feel like the Tea Dragon Tapestry could be that as well. We can use the third one for this. Or I also thought Cold Day in the Sun by Sarah Byron would fit the bill. It's like a teen kind of romance with a girl who's like joined the hockey team and is trying to prove herself to all the boys on the team. Well, so falling for one. I thought that sounded pretty cute and cozy, and it's, you know, wintry too, so perfect to like cuddle up around the fireplace. Not that you want to have a fire going right now, it's 1,000,000,000 degrees out, but you know, it feels very cozy. Okay, so then I have to take lore, and I have to get a Q in lore. So for O, which is Aldea's Regional Anthropology, I have to read a book that has colors similar to your country's flag, and that is red and white, because I'm from Canada. And so I thought that the book that I had that fit this best was Queen of the Tiles by Hannah Alcoff. I know it's got like some black and like grays in here, but like it's got this kind of reddish pinkish and like the white of her hijab. So I think this is like the closest. You know, got the white letters there. It's good enough for me. I'll count it because I have been meaning to read this and it's been sitting on my shelf for quite a while. Oops. Okay, so then for a Q for qualified, it is The Myth of Sildorus, which is a story featuring a betrayal. This one I thought was a little difficult to pinpoint because like a lot of times a betrayal is kind of like the plot twist in a lot of books. So I was having a hard time finding books where like the plot started being like there's a betrayal, because a lot of times it's like you get, you know, halfway, 3/4 of the way through the book and it's like, oh, betrayal, and you're like, no. But what I did grab that I thought might work for this was Notes on an Execution by Danya Kukofka. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Because this follows a serial killer who is on death row for killing just random girls. But it's told through the eyes of 3 women who are affected by him. So his mother, his wife's sister, and the detective who was like on his trail. So I thought, you know, killing people is kind of like the ultimate betrayal, murder, and he's betrayed his family by killing people. So I thought this worked on that level where it's, you know, murder is kind of one of the ultimate betrayals. I don't know. It's a little iffy, and if I find another book that has like a more solid like betrayal in it, sure, but for now we're gonna go with that. Also, like Cindy read it and she loved it, so she has great taste. I will take the recommendation. And my final course is Restoration, and I only need an O in that, so that's for the object restoration. And it's to read a book with a single object as the focus of the cover. I had a bit of a hard time finding something for this. Like, a lot of covers have lots of things on them. But I thought that Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner would work for that, because it's just the noodles, the ramen with the chopsticks. And I thought that would work well because it's really just the one thing, and then the cover is just like a plain red background. So we're going with this one. I'm pretty sure as well you have to read them in order. So like for example, for Alchemy, I have to read like Uprooted first, and then Titanic Survivor, and then Lightlark. Like, it has to be in order like that to go from like O to Q to D, and I can't just like read them out of order, but that's okay. I can manage that. So those are the 14 books that I hope to read in August. Who knows if I'll actually get them all done, because 14's a lot and I'm traveling for like half the month, it feels like. I'm going to a folk festival out of town, and I'm doing a road trip to another province, so I'm gonna be busy. And then obviously I have to work in between there, but we're gonna try. I'll give it my best shot. And yeah, let me know if you're also participating in the Magical Readathon. If you've also given yourself way too many books to read like I have, and it's conflicting with your plans. I'd love to hear about your reading plans for August as well. Thank you so much if you've just recently joined. I know I've had like a little bump up in subscribers. A lot of people have been watching my unhaul and little free library video, so it really means a lot to see more people joining in on the fun. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate every single one of you who watches my videos. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Nothing sounds right. One of those has to be good, right? Something in there has got to click. I'll link that up top and down below. I don't think that's right side. To have eyes on me. A true Leo moment.